let me get something out of the way right away. There will be no spoilers for this trailer overview for Metroid Prime 4, and I'm going to explain why here right now. This morning, I opened my phone and I had a notification that there was an overview for Metroid Prime 4. I was so excited. I go to open it and what does it say? It's over 7 minutes long. So I thought, okay, I click on it and I skim ahead just to see, is this really a bunch of footage, or could it be some kind of a how to play kind of thing, like where it actually shows somebody physically with a control, and maybe it's just a really slow-paced kind of deal. And I went forward a couple of times, so I just got a couple of brief frames in there, and I decided, let's not watch this. I don't want to be spoiled. And so I want to see who is out there with me, who's going to skip this overview trailer, because it's not for me. I know how to play Metroid Prime, and I think that this is kind of for newer players, because I know how to play. I assume that this game is going to be just that foundation, and then they're going to build on that, right? There's going to be new layers or different layers, or the layers are going to be rearranged or something, but the foundation is basically Metroid Prime. So I want to just have that opportunity for it all to be new. I want to go in blind. And now, having said that, I want to go in blind, not necessarily deaf, and so I'll tell you what I did today. Instead of watching the overview trailer, I did listen to a couple of the previews that were released by different outlets today on YouTube, and I kind of felt it out. I was like, well, let's just listen to some of these, and if they start to go real deep into anything crazy that I'm not prepared to hear details about, I'll turn them off. But I was pretty pleased. I got to learn more about the game without visually seeing it, and I think that's just such a big part of game, of course, with it being a visual medium, right? So you also play it, and sound, it plays a really big part in it, like a surprising part in a game. Like the music can totally change it, but that's something I can deal with, where visually I wanted to be able to just be free of the visuals. I've watched, I think, basically everything up until today, the release date of the overview trailer, November 14th. And like I said, I just feel like it's not for me, because I'm sold on the game, and I don't want to ruin that first experience in any of these new areas or new power-ups. They don't need to explain that to me. I want to be able to, as far as the game will let me, figure out how to go about using the items in the ways that are required, or even be creative with it. Yeah, it's just you know what I mean. It's just a lot of fun to go in blind. That's the way it used to be. We'd see maybe a couple screenshots in magazines and stuff. It's even less than what I have seen already with the trailers. I'm so thankful that they have not seemed very spoiler filled, and that they are pretty brief, and they all show pretty much the same things. So it was close, and I've been really thinking about this today. Should I watch this overview trailer? I really want to, but at the same time, I want to save it. I can have self-control in this. So let me talk about what I heard in the previews today, just a little bit. I have a theory or two I want to go over. So if you're like me and you're trying to avoid most or all spoilers, go ahead and turn off the video now, because I'm going to go into just a little something that for me, it wasn't a big deal, but I wouldn't want to spoil somebody else if they want to be completely clean of that. So the word today was that people are mixed on this companion character that people are They're just talking about this companion character that you have in the game for at least a brief time, Mackenzie, and I mean, just from listening, like I said, I haven't seen anything, but just from listening, I get the feeling that people are very split on it. Some people don't mind, and some people hate it. Although I guess I haven't heard anybody say they love it. But to me, unlike the bike, I don't feel very skeptical about this. I think it sounds totally fine. If you've ever played any first-person shooter adventure type games, you know the FPSs that they kind of lean adventure, but they're not necessarily like a Metroid Prime adventure where it's like almost purely adventure and like the combat is totally secondary. But anyway, this companion doesn't sound that bothersome to me, and I have heard voice clips, and it doesn't seem like that big a deal to me. It just makes me think of Portal, or Portal 2, I guess. And I like those games, and I assume that this guy isn't following you for the entire game. And so, with that said, I could go into just kind of my theory for what I think the game is going to do with him. And again, I'm not watching reactions and stuff of the overview trailer, so people could have said this already, or they might even explain it in the overview trailer, I don't know, but I think that maybe this guy, he's an engineer, I think, and you help him, he helps you, you find a base camp, maybe in the lightning area where you get the bike, and you make a base camp, right? Well then, he's gonna hang out there, maybe provide support in some way or another. Like if you need hints, he'll be your hint system. And I think that maybe we'll find a few other Galactic Federation troops. We'll bring them back to base, because from what I've heard, he has a name and maybe a health bar or something up on the HUD of Samus when he's with you. And so I think maybe you might find others, take them to base 2. You'll have a whole base camp, kind of like, think of a Star Wars Jedi, the new one, Survivor, is it? And you kind of build up your team. They support you in different ways, and that's kind of how you do your side missions and stuff, because that's something I've heard other people talk about, is side missions in this game. Whether true or not, I don't know. But people have talked about the desire for some kind of side quests, and this game is looking like it's taking cues from a lot of other kinds of games, so I could see that kind of happening here. And so you've got your guys in your base camp, and then I think you remember in the trailer, the last trailer we got a week ago or so, the trailer called Survive. I think there was a part where the radar showed a wrench icon, and I think this engineer guy, Mackenzie, we're going to either take him to these locations with the green wrench on the radar and he'll repair something for us, or else you get there, you scan it, and you request his aid, and he'll deploy something to repair it or something like that. Or maybe it'll be a new checkpoint, kind of a side base camp. So I guess not a base camp, but kind of a camp that you can fast travel to, and maybe this is your fast travel system. You'll have a few markers around the map that you can move around a little bit quicker and have quicker transport. And so that's kind of my main theory, is you get a base camp and various characters will come there to help you. This guy, the engineer, will be able to repair things or build things where there are wrenches on the radar, and our other companions might be able to do things with other things that might show up on the radar, so they'll have different abilities for us. And I think that our camps might be fast travel kind of things, kind of like save points, but maybe they would be treated a little bit different. And I do have a story theory that I'll go over, and this one's kind of silly, so don't take this too seriously. All right, so this Mackenzie character, right? He's kind of weird. He's like too comedic, right, for Metroid. So I kind of have this thought. He's just so different. I've never had anybody like this before, right? So then we have on the other side of the spectrum, we do know of another character in the game who is a main character. And who might that be? The super serious Sylux. So now you're going to see where I'm going with this. So at the beginning of the game, Samus gets transported along with the troopers and that whole base on that planet, and even Sylux maybe, and the space pirates. They get transported to another planet. They don't know where they are. They don't know where in time they are. Did they go back in the past? Okay, so we get to the past on another planet. Is this Marine, this engineer, is he Sylux in the past? And so now it could go a couple different routes. This is Sylux, and maybe his future self is there, and he kind of guides him down that path. So kind of a, potentially paradoxical kind of thing, like his future self is the one who led him down this path. Or maybe the future Sylux didn't actually get transported back, but yes, the engineer Mackenzie, maybe he is Sylux, and he in the past has been experimented on, as I feel like we've heard somewhere. He's experimented on by the Galactic Federation, whether it's on Viros or like before that, and this guy then becomes Sylux while you are there on Viros. And so maybe you don't see Sylux for quite some time, but then partway through the game, there he is. Like I said, he's revealed to be Sylux, and whether he was kind of in disguise when he was Mackenzie, or he just transformed that quickly, like he's just kind of like schizophrenic or something. I don't know, there's possibilities there. And like I said, this is kind of a silly theory. I don't really mean this very seriously, but it's just something interesting to think about. Because they seem to be going in a fairly heavy story direction. And, if you're going to have a story, you might as well go all out, right? I'm excited to see exactly what is going on, because it would be cool to have Easter eggs and stuff, and see if we have other hunters on this planet. Maybe see if there are other areas from the past games that we might visit in a different time. Like if we revisited Talon 4 in some form, that would be so cool. Even if it's just images, just to see how it was before the Phazon meteor on that planet. Yeah, there's lots of cool things. I'm so excited for this game. Just seeing, like I said, I didn't watch the overview trailer, but this made me so excited for the game. Like, I thought about it all day. I didn't even watch it, and it made me so excited. And we still have, do we have 3 weeks left to go? And I just about don't know how I'm going to make it, but I know I'll make it, of course. I made it with Prime 2 and 3, and that was a long time ago, and I know this has been a much longer wait, so I am, it's going to be tough, but it'll be good. Even if this game isn't exactly classic Metroid, it's not isolated, it's not lonely, it's going to be, I think it'll be a really good time. And I don't think it's that big a deal to take the game in somewhat of a different direction, because it still looks cool, and I mostly want it to feel good and not be bogged down with slow scenes and stuff. Kind of like, I know I do complain about it sometimes. Metroid Prime 3, I don't know. If it's more Metroid than that game, I'll be happy. So anyway, I think I'm gonna leave it there. Just tell me in the comments, are you with me? Are you gonna try to stay spoiler free from here? You watched everything up till now, and now let's just wait and avoid any more new information. Just avoid it, so this game can be as fresh as possible. Are you with me, or are you just all in, just reading everything, watching everything, listening to everything? Yeah, that's okay too. Let me know in the comments, and if you are liking Metroid content, you can follow me. I'm just blabbering about Metroid lately, and it's a good time. So go ahead and subscribe to me if you'd like. And hey, I hope God would bless you today, and I will talk to you next time.